Look, I've been practicing medicine here in Singapore for over 20 years now, and I've seen things that would shock most people. But what I'm about to share with you today is something that still keeps me up at night. A 79-year-old man was found dead in his Toa Payoh flat, alone in his bedroom. The coroner's report showed he died from sudden cardiac arrest. But here's what nobody talks about. What he was doing right before he died. This man, let's call him Mr. Tan, was doing something that millions of older men do every single day. Something completely natural, completely private. Masturbation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Lim, are you serious? Can that really kill someone? And the answer is yes, but not for the reasons you might think. It's not the act itself that's dangerous, it's when you do it. There are 4 specific times of day when this completely normal activity becomes one of the riskiest things an elderly man can do alone. And if you're watching this video, chances are you or someone you love might be putting themselves at risk without even knowing it. So if this video opens your eyes or makes you think differently, type 1 in the comments. I'm Dr. Cheryl Lim, and I've spent 2 decades working with elderly patients here in Singapore, helping them navigate the health challenges that come with aging. And one of the most difficult conversations I have with my male patients is about sexual health, not because it's embarrassing, though many of you feel that way, but because there's so much dangerous misinformation out there. Today, I'm going to tell you the truth about the 4 most dangerous times for masturbation in older men, and more importantly, how to stay safe. This isn't about scaring you. This is about keeping you alive. Let's talk about Mr. Tan for a moment. He was a retired civil servant, lived alone after his wife passed away 3 years ago. His children would visit on weekends, bring the grandkids over. He seemed healthy enough, a bit of high blood pressure, some cholesterol issues, but nothing unusual for a man his age. He took his medications faithfully every morning, went for walks at the park, met his kakis for kopi at the coffee shop downstairs. A typical Singaporean senior living a quiet life. On that morning, he had taken his blood pressure medication as usual. About 30 minutes later, his daughter found him. The autopsy revealed he had died from sudden hypotension. His blood pressure had dropped so dramatically and so quickly that his heart couldn't cope. But why? What happened in those 30 minutes? This brings me to the first and most dangerous time, right after taking your blood pressure medication. Now, I need you to understand something crucial here. If you're taking medications for hypertension, and trust me, most of you over 60 are, your body is already in a delicate balance. These medications, whether it's ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, or calcium channel blockers, they're designed to lower your blood pressure. That's their job. But here's what happens when you masturbate or engage in any sexual activity. Your body releases hormones, your blood vessels dilate, and guess what? Your blood pressure drops even further. It's like taking a double dose of your medication. Your heart rate increases, you're exerting yourself, and suddenly your blood pressure plummets. For Mr. Tan, his body couldn't handle that sudden drop. His brain didn't get enough oxygen. His heart struggled to pump blood, and in less than 10 minutes, he was gone. So what's the solution? Simple, but you need to follow it strictly. Wait at least 2 to 3 hours after taking your blood pressure medication before engaging in any activity that increases your heart rate or affects blood flow. This includes masturbation, yes, but also vigorous exercise, heavy lifting, even eating a very large meal. Your medication needs time to stabilize in your system. Give it that time. Set an alarm on your phone if you need to. Your life literally depends on this timing. And please, if you're on multiple medications, maybe you're taking something for your heart, something for your prostate, maybe metformin for diabetes, talk to your doctor. I cannot stress this enough. Different medications interact differently with your body, and what's safe for one person might be dangerous for another. Now, the second dangerous time might surprise you because most people think of it as relaxing and harmless. I'm talking about right after a hot shower or bath. How many of you like a good hot shower in the morning? Or maybe you prefer a nice warm bath at night to help you sleep? Very common, especially here in Singapore, where the weather is so humid. But here's what you need to know too. When you immerse yourself in hot water or stand under a hot shower for an extended period, your blood vessels expand. This is called vasodilation. Your body does this to help regulate temperature. The warm water feels good on your muscles, calms your mind, makes you feel refreshed, but internally your blood pressure is dropping. Now, if you step out of that shower and immediately engage in masturbation or sexual activity, you're compounding that effect. I had a patient, Mr. Lim, 72 years old, retired teacher, who collapsed in his bathroom. Lucky for him, his wife was home and called an ambulance immediately. When I saw him in the emergency department at SGH, he was conscious but very shaken. He told me what happened, very embarrassed, but I reassured him that he did the right thing by being honest. He had taken a long hot bath, felt relaxed, felt aroused and decided to masturbate while still in the warm bathroom. Within minutes, he felt dizzy, his vision went dark, and he collapsed. His blood pressure had dropped so low that he nearly suffered a stroke. The heat from the bath combined with the physical exertion and the vasodilation from arousal created a perfect storm. His body simply couldn't maintain adequate blood flow to his brain. The bathroom is particularly dangerous for another reason. If you fall, you can hit your head on the sink, the toilet, the tiles. These aren't soft surfaces. I've seen too many head injuries from bathroom falls in elderly patients. So here's my advice. Wait at least 30 to 45 minutes after a hot shower or bath before any physical activity that increases your heart rate. Let your body temperature normalize. Let your blood pressure stabilize. Drink some water. This is important because hot baths can dehydrate you slightly. Sit down, relax, maybe read the newspaper, watch some TV. Give your body time to adjust. And if you must, if you really feel the urge, do it in a safe place, lying down on your bed, not standing in the bathroom. Make sure the floor is dry and non-slip. Better yet, just wait. Your health is more important than any momentary pleasure. The third dangerous time is one that catches most people completely off guard because traditionally, this is when men often feel most aroused. I'm talking about early in the morning, right when you wake up. You know what I'm referring to. Morning erections are completely normal. They happen due to hormonal fluctuations during sleep. Testosterone levels are highest in the early morning hours. So naturally, many men, especially those who live alone or whose partners may no longer be sexually active, they take advantage of this natural arousal. But here's the problem. When you first wake up, your body is in a very specific physiological state. You've been lying down for 6, 7, maybe 8 hours. Your blood pressure is at its lowest. You're dehydrated. You haven't had any water since before you went to sleep. Your cardiovascular system needs time to adjust to being awake and vertical. Think about it. Have you ever stood up too quickly in the morning and felt dizzy? That's orthostatic hypotension. Your blood pressure hasn't caught up with your change in position yet. Now imagine adding sexual activity on top of that. You're already dehydrated, your blood pressure is already low, and then you're increasing your heart rate and causing vasodilation. It's a recipe for disaster. I remember Mr. Chong, 81 years old, lived in a 3-room HDB flat in Bedok. He woke up early one morning, felt aroused, and decided to masturbate before getting out of bed. Halfway through, he felt his chest tighten, sharp pain radiating down his left arm. He managed to call his son, who rushed him to hospital. He was having a heart attack. Thankfully, we saved him, but it was a close call, very close. What should you do instead? First thing when you wake up, and I tell this to all my elderly patients, drink a full glass of water. Keep a bottle by your bedside if you need to. Hydrate yourself then, sit up slowly, let your body adjust. Don't jump straight out of bed. Take a few deep breaths, maybe do some gentle stretching while lying down. Then when you stand up, do it gradually. If you feel dizzy at all, sit back down immediately. Wait at least 30 to 45 minutes after waking up before any vigorous activity. Eat something, even just some biscuits or fruit. Let your blood sugar stabilize, let your blood pressure normalize. Your body needs time to wake up properly. And please, if you have any history of heart disease, if you've had a heart attack or angina before, talk to your cardiologist about this. They might recommend specific precautions or medications. Now, the fourth dangerous time is one that many of you probably already suspect, but maybe you're doing it anyway. I'm talking about after drinking alcohol. And look, I'm not here to lecture you about drinking. Many of you enjoy a beer or two with dinner, maybe some whiskey while watching football. That's your choice, but you need to understand what alcohol does to your body, especially as you get older. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. It slows down your brain function, impairs your coordination, affects your judgment, but it also affects your cardiovascular system. It causes vasodilation, there's that word again, which lowers your blood pressure. It also dehydrates you, thickens your blood slightly, and makes it harder for your heart to pump efficiently. I had a patient who nearly died because of this combination. Mr. Wong, 76, loved his Tiger beer. Every evening after dinner, he'd have 2 or 3 large bottles while watching TV. One night, he had a few drinks, felt aroused. Alcohol can increase libido in some men, even though it impairs performance, and decided to masturbate before bed. His wife had already gone to sleep in the other room. Halfway through, he felt extremely dizzy, started sweating profusely, couldn't catch his breath. He tried to call out but couldn't make a sound. He collapsed right there in the living room. His wife heard the thud, came running, found him unconscious. She called 995 immediately. The paramedics told me later that his blood pressure was dangerously low when they arrived. His heart rate was erratic. We stabilized him, but it was touch and go. The problem with alcohol is that it impairs your judgment. You might feel fine, feel confident, feel aroused, but your body is actually in a compromised state. You're not thinking clearly about the risks, and if something goes wrong, you're less able to react quickly, less able to call for help. My advice is absolute: never, and I mean never, engage in masturbation or sexual activity after drinking alcohol. Wait until the next day when you're completely sober. If you've had even one drink, wait. It's not worth the risk. And if you're someone who drinks regularly, who maybe has a few drinks every evening, you need to talk to your doctor about this. Chronic alcohol use affects your cardiovascular health in ways you might not realize, and adding sexual activity on top of that is playing Russian roulette with your life. Let me be very clear about something. I'm not telling you to stop masturbating. Sexual activity, including self-pleasure, is a normal and healthy part of life. At any age, it has benefits, it reduces stress, helps with sleep, maintains sexual function, can even boost your mood. I'm not a prude and I'm not trying to shame anyone. What I'm trying to do is keep you safe, because the truth is, as we age, our bodies change, our hearts aren't as strong as they used to be, our blood vessels aren't as flexible, our blood pressure regulation isn't as efficient. Things that were safe when we were 40 or 50 can become dangerous when we're 70 or 80, and that's okay. That's just biology. But we need to adapt. We need to be smart about this. So let me give you a practical checklist that you can follow. First, timing is everything. Avoid the 4 dangerous times I just described: right after medication, right after hot showers or baths, first thing in the morning, and after alcohol. Instead, choose a time when your body is stable. Mid-morning, after you've been awake for a couple of hours, had breakfast, had some water. Mid-afternoon, when you're well hydrated and your medications have stabilized. These are safer times. Second, always do this lying down on your bed, not standing up, not in the bathroom, not in a chair where you might fall. Lying down ensures that if your blood pressure drops, you're already in a safe position. Third, stay hydrated, keep water nearby. If you feel dizzy at all, stop immediately, drink some water and rest. Fourth, and this is crucial, pay attention to warning signs. If you experience chest pain, shortness of breath, extreme dizziness, numbness in your arms or face, blurred vision, or a severe headache, stop immediately and call for help. These could be signs of a heart attack or stroke. Don't be embarrassed. Don't wait to see if it passes. Call 995. Tell the paramedics exactly what was happening. Yes, it's embarrassing, but being alive and embarrassed is better than being dead. The paramedics have seen everything. Trust me, they won't judge you. Fifth, if you have any cardiovascular conditions, heart disease, previous heart attack, angina, arrhythmias, severe hypertension, peripheral artery disease, talk to your doctor specifically about this. Ask them what's safe for you. Some of you might need to avoid this activity altogether, at least until your conditions are better controlled. Number 6, consider your environment. Make sure you're in a safe place where you won't be disturbed, where the temperature is comfortable, where the floors aren't slippery. Lock your door if you need privacy, but make sure someone knows your home in case of emergency. If you live alone, which many elderly men do, this is especially important. Maybe set an alarm on your phone for 30 minutes later, so if something happens and you don't turn off the alarm, someone will check on you. 7th, go slowly, don't rush, don't exert yourself too much. If you find yourself breathing very hard or your heart racing too fast, slow down or stop. This isn't a race. There's no prize for finishing quickly. Take your time, be gentle with yourself. And here's something else I want to address, because I know some of you are thinking about it. What about medications like Viagra or Cialis? Look, these medications can be very helpful for erectile dysfunction, and many older men use them successfully, but they also lower blood pressure. They interact with other medications, particularly nitrates, which are used for heart conditions. If you're taking these medications, you absolutely must follow your doctor's instructions exactly. Never take more than prescribed. Never combine them with alcohol or recreational drugs. And all those same timing rules apply. Don't take them right after your blood pressure medication. Don't mix them with hot baths. Be very careful in the morning. If you're using these medications and you're not under a doctor's care, you need to see a doctor immediately. Get proper supervision. I want to share one more story with you, but this one has a better ending. Mr. Go, 74 years old, was one of my patients. He came to see me about 6 months after his wife passed away. He was lonely, depressed, and he was having some issues with sexual function. We talked very openly. It took a while for him to feel comfortable, but eventually he did. I explained to him all the things I've explained to you today. We adjusted his medication timing. We talked about the dangerous times to avoid. We discussed warning signs. He was very diligent about following these guidelines. A few months later, he came back for a follow-up and he thanked me. He said he felt more confident, more in control of his health, less anxious. He was still grieving his wife, but he felt better physically. And most importantly, he felt empowered by having this knowledge. That's what I want for all of you watching this video. I want you to have the knowledge to make safe choices. I want you to understand your body and how it changes with age. I want you to feel comfortable talking about this with your doctor. Because the alternative, the silence, the shame, the misinformation, that's what gets people killed. Mr. Tan didn't have to die. If he had known about the timing, if he had waited a few hours after his medication, he'd probably still be alive today, playing with his grandchildren, having coffee with his friends. But he didn't know. Nobody told him. And that's why I'm telling you, so please take this seriously. Share this information with your friends, your brothers, your father, your uncles. This isn't something people talk about over dinner, I know. It's not something that comes up during your Tai Chi session at the park, but it needs to be discussed because lives are at stake. You don't have to give them details, just tell them to watch this video, to talk to their doctor, to be careful about timing, that's enough. And if you're someone who cares for an elderly parent or relative, please find a gentle way to broach this topic with them. I know it's awkward, but it's necessary. Maybe send them this video, let them watch it privately, give them the information they need to stay safe. Before I finish, let me summarize the key points one more time. 4 dangerous times: after blood pressure medication, after hot baths or showers, early morning right after waking, and after drinking alcohol. Safe practices: do it lying down, stay hydrated, avoid the dangerous times, watch for warning signs, talk to your doctor. If you follow these guidelines, you significantly reduce your risk. You can maintain a healthy sex life, including masturbation, well into your 80s and beyond, but you need to be smart about it. Your body has changed and your habits need to change with it. Now, I know some of you watching this are younger. Maybe you're in your 50s or 60s. Maybe you think this doesn't apply to you yet, but start practicing these habits now. Build them into your routine. Because one day, sooner than you think, you will be 70 or 80, and these precautions will become critical, right? Prevention is always better than treatment. And if you're watching this and you're concerned about yourself or a loved one, please don't hesitate to reach out to a healthcare provider. We're here to help, not to judge. I'm Dr. Cheryl Lim, and I've dedicated my career to helping elderly patients live longer, healthier, happier lives. If this video was helpful to you, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and share it with anyone who might benefit. And leave a comment below if you have questions. I try to read and respond to as many as I can. And remember, there's no shame in taking care of your sexual health. It's part of taking care of your overall health. Stay safe, stay informed, and take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching.